Welcome to episode 1 of Rose and Gary's year-long bicycle trip. In this episode, we prepare to leave our house and depart on our year-long adventure. Join us as we bicycle from Downers Grove to the border of Canada, the first border crossing of many more to come. Join Rose and Gary, the pedaling duo, as we take you on an epic bicycle voyage around the world. This adventure spanned 10 months of travel, circling the globe and covering more than a third of the Earth's circumference on a tandem recumbent bicycle. Our adventure took us through 13 countries at a leisurely, relaxed pace. Our unusual mode of transportation enabled us to meet and spend time with people from diverse cultural backgrounds. As we traveled, we realized that we were getting an opportunity that very few people have in life. So come along with us on our dream of a lifetime and share our unique and fulfilling experience. We have always wanted to start our epic bicycle journey right from our front door, so that's what we did. We headed north along the shores of Lake Michigan to the city of Milwaukee, where we caught a ferry across the Great Lake of Michigan. Then we headed east across the state of Michigan and crossed into Canada just north of Detroit. From there we followed the shores of Lake Erie to one of the natural wonders of the world, Niagara Falls. After a few days sightseeing at the falls, we headed north along the Niagara River to Lake Ontario. After rounding the lake, we followed the north shore of Ontario all the way up to the St. Lawrence Seaway. Once we reached the place to turn off for Ottawa, we headed north to Ottawa to end our first leg of our journey.
Getting ready to get a shot before we go because we're leaving in 17 days.
So today we're going to get hepatitis B, typhoid, and one that I consider important is a pre-rabies inoculation.
Okay, as long as I don't look, I'm usually okay.
You're okay?
Yeah, but I can't look.
Let's just see if we can get your sleeve up a little bit.
Okay. Just the thought of it going in there.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
That's one. Here we go for number 2.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
This one burns a little bit.
Yeah, so
Which one is this?
hepatitis B.
Hepatitis B burns. Whatever the other one was, that was okay. What was the other one? Oh, rabies was all right. I'm going to be a baby.
1, 2,
Here we go. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
A little bit of a bee sting.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was spicy.
John.
We'll be leaving our house for a year, and we lived in this house for 17 years. And believe me, in 17 years you collect a lot of junk. So what better way to get rid of the junk than a garage sale? And we figured, what the heck, we'll invite all the neighbors and we'll all have a garage sale. That way we'll attract more people. So hopefully we sell enough for maybe to pay for a month on the road. We'll see.
This is the Sherwood Avenue garage sale.
$10 o'clock in the morning?
took us months to prepare the house to leave, and the day has finally arrived. We had a few last-minute details, and then we would be on our way for a year-long adventure. So we've been working feverishly the last week to clear out our house and get it ready for the people, Jim and Mary Kay, who are going to come stay here. We've emptied out all the bedrooms, packed up all the furniture. There's no coming back now, it's gone.
Paid express envelope. If something comes up that we need, you could just shove anything in there and mail it to post office box wherever we plan to be. So that'll work out well.
All of the preparations were over and the time has come. We pulled the gear out of the garage and our journey was underway. The Chinese philosopher Zhao Su, in 650 BC, said the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Well, in our case, our journey of 10,000 miles begins with the first push of the pedal. Here we go. We pulled out of the driveway and did not go far before we had our first challenge of the trip. The GPS that we were relying on to take us around the world stopped working. We paused to see if we could fix it, but we couldn't, so we moved on. It wasn't long before Rose wanted to stop and take the first picture of the day. It would be one of just a few because it started raining. And little did we know that it would be the first picture of approximately 12,000 that we took on our trip. The GPS had started working by now, but even with that, we got confused sometime as to which way to go. There's a guy named Tony at Gary's work who rides bicycle a lot. And he was kind enough to lay out a beautiful route for us to follow on our first day towards Milwaukee. We were both so excited to finally be on the road. As the miles passed by, we contemplated on what this journey will bring. It seemed that in no time at all, we were pedaling past O'Hare Airport, which is some 25 miles from our house. The day was beautiful despite the rain, and we were filled with anticipation. We got a pleasant surprise when Gary realized that we were riding right past the home of an old friend. We looked at our clock and it was lunchtime, so we stopped in and had a pleasant lunch out of the rain. Later that afternoon, we had our first mechanical breakdown of the trip. Yeah, we had a little mechanical problem with the bike, but we couldn't film it because it was pouring rain. Didn't want to get the camera out. But we had to make an emergency stop to avoid some traffic. And Rose pulled on the drum brake. And when she pulled on the drum brake, this bracket on the bike, we have it taped up now, this bracket that's welded to the frame snapped right off. So now we don't have any kind of drum brake. After we recovered from our mechanical mishap, the rest of the day went by beautifully. We just pedaled and enjoyed the scenery. The rain let up, the sun came out, and it was a joyous end of a day. We were camping tonight, so we made a quick stop to pick up some food for dinner. We ended up the day at the Illinois State Beach Campground after 72 miles of pedaling for the first day of our journey. We pulled up to our first campsite, first night out after riding 72 miles. We're worn out. Well, at the campground, they told us we got to go to the campsite, come back and register. I said, oh man, I don't want to ride all the way back to the entrance of the camp to register. So they said, well, we'll give you a good campsite. It's campsite 290. So we're riding around looking for campsite 290. We get here, and we saw some people already there. We said, but they put us right next to somebody. Then as we get closer, we said, no, somebody's already in 290. Now we got to ride all the way back and tell them somebody's already there. Well, we get here, and it's Terry and Dave, Rose's sister and brother-in-law. What a great surprise. They got steaks, they got corn, we're all set up.
You won't get this treatment all through Europe.
It's wonderful. What a great surprise to see the smiling and familiar faces of Terry and Dave when we arrived after a long and wet first day. We were tired from pushing too many miles on the first day and not looking forward to cooking dinner and then cleaning up. Terry and Dave anticipated that and took care of us with a steak dinner and all the trimmings. And when they left for the evening after cleaning up and taking care of everything, they left a bottle of wine for Rose and I to enjoy the rest of the evening of the first night of our journey. We slept great in the tent, but woke up to a mosquito-filled morning. We made coffee, worked on the journal, and just relaxed. We're going to head down to the lake later.
We had a good first night, slept fairly well, heard the raccoons sniffing around the tent, so it made me a little bit nervous, but woke up just a few times, but otherwise slept till 6 o'clock and had a good night's sleep. Now we're going to head down to the water. We're right by Lake Michigan. The mosquitoes here are unbelievable. There's always 50 on you at one time, so we're wearing our mosquito nets so we don't get bit. They usually don't bite me, but they're bugging me. So anyway, we're on our way down to the lake.
Well, our campground is just up here. We're about 50 yards from Lake Michigan, so we're going to take a walk over there and see what it looks like. I bet it looks like a lake.
First view of the lake.
It was a quiet and misty morning, and being the second day of a year-long trip, we had to learn how to relax. Well, this was the perfect setting to do just that. Before we left to look at the beach, we started cooking breakfast, and we left the oatmeal sitting on the table to simmer along with some bread and apples. Well, when we came back from the beach, we found a little critter had gotten into our bread and ate half our apples. Fortunately, the oatmeal was covered. After cleaning up breakfast, it was time to get on the bicycle and head for Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, it poured cats and dogs on us almost the whole day, so we do not have any pictures or videos for today's ride. We didn't mind the rain so much until we reached downtown Milwaukee at the height of the evening rush hour. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, we took a risk riding the downtown streets in the traffic in the pouring rain. Along with the rain and the traffic, we had a malfunctioning GPS as we tried to find the County Clare traditional Irish pub and inn where we will be spending the night. We had to get up at 4 a.m. to catch the first sailing of the Lake Express. We departed the County Clare Inn as quietly as we could. After a quick ride on the dark streets, we reached the dock.
So we made about 4 miles from the County Clare Irish Pub and Inn to downtown Milwaukee. Much easier doing it at 5 o'clock in the morning rather than in the pouring rain and rush hour. And we're in front of the Lake Express Ferry, go over to the state of Michigan. The attendant said that we get to board first, so we're ready to go. We were the first ones to board the ferry.
As the boat prepared to sail, we settled in and listened to the safety instructions. At precisely 5 a.m., the ferry pulled away from the Milwaukee dock, and we were on our way across the Great Lake, Michigan. It was a smooth and comfortable ride, and the time passed quickly. We were disappointed that the shores of the state of Michigan appeared so soon. We were the first to load the boat, but the last to unload. It was early in the morning, and we were fresh and ready to hit the road. One of our first stops was at a foundry where Carl and Randy agreed to try to fix our broken drum brake. Carl came up with a unique idea for a fix, so he patched up the brake bracket. They refused any type of payment, so we thanked them and we were on our way. As we neared our destination for the day, we got into some pretty tough roads to ride. The soft sand from the lake made it almost impossible to pedal the bike. Eventually, we found a good road again. We were almost done riding for the day, and we were looking forward to a nice, relaxing evening. By a strange twist of fate, we rode through the town of Whitehall. Jim and Mary Kay, who are living in our house while we were gone, are from the town of Whitehall. And ironically, one of their friends called them on the phone and mentioned that they saw an odd bicycle go through town today. It was us! We are on our way to spend a few days with Bill and Christine. Bill works with Gary, and they are vacationing at a beach house here on the lake.
We just had a great dinner with Bill and Christine. It was another surprise dinner. We had steak and green beans and potatoes, and it was absolutely delicious after a long ride. The thing you want most after a long ride is meat, and the steaks were absolutely delicious. So now we're here on Lake Michigan and going to enjoy the sunset.
We had a great evening with Bill and Christine.
They have a recumbent and a regular bike, and then treadmill and Stairmaster, so I was, rotating with those.
We talked the night away and ended the night with a wonderful sunset. The next day we took a break from our bicycle. We couldn't pass up an opportunity to go canoeing with Bill and Christine. It was a wonderful, calm day, just relaxing in the canoes and having fun, resting our aching legs. That evening, we returned to the beach and had another fire and sat and talked. We'll be back on the trail and the bike tomorrow. after spending 2 wonderful days with Bill and Christine, we loaded up our bicycle in the back of Bill's truck, and he was kind enough to drive us back to Muskegon so we didn't have to backtrack and pedal through the sand. It saved us a lot of hours of pedaling and wear and tear on the bike. Bill drove us straight to the trailhead of the Musketawa Trail. We unloaded and we were on our way to Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was a great day on the bike. The sun was shining and the wind was at our backs. Along the way, a deer crossed our path. And we even got to see some little ponies. The bike trail led us through the heart of a 5-building town by the name of Conklin, where we found Finian's Irish Pub. We went inside to get some cold soda water and spent 20 minutes cooling down and talking to the proprietor about his trips to Ireland. The rest of the day was smooth sailing, and when we arrived at Grand Rapids, Michigan, we had a few errands to run.
So we're in Grand Haven, Michigan, and we had to find a freewheel bicycle shop on Leonard Street to fix that drum brake we've been working on. I think they had all the parts we need. I'm putting it together now, so let's see what we're doing over here.
Besides fixing the drum brake, Rosa's shoes were looking a little worse for wear, so we took the time to get her a new pair of shoes. After all of the errands were done, we retired for a well-earned night's sleep. Upon leaving Grand Rapids, we were on country roads in minutes. The GPS led us to 2 Mile Road, which turned into hard-packed sand almost immediately. It was shaded by trees, but about 91 degrees out today. And the grades on the roads were quite tough, sometimes reaching 9 and 10%. We had to push through the sand. While we pushed, we saw turkey buzzards circling high above us. We hoped they weren't waiting for us. We were on 2 Mile Road for about 5 miles, but it took us hours to negotiate that road. We had to stop for lunch, and the only place around was a cemetery. We used a gravestone for a table. While we were eating lunch, a dog came by. He shadowed us everywhere we walked. He looked well fed, but there was no place around. So we called him the Graveyard Dog. The rest of the day continued to be hot and hard. We broiled in the sun and toiled up steep grades. They were the steepest hills we've encountered so far. Just outside of Ionia, we pulled into a campground, but discovered they did not have water or showers. So we continued on to the little town of Ionia, expecting to find a sleepy little village. Boy, were we wrong. I'm here with Shelly, and we're at
Shelly and Friends.
Shelly and Friends in Ionia,
Michigan. Yeah, Ionia, Michigan.
So tell me what the big festivities is all about.
Today's our grand opening, and bringing more awareness to downtown Ionia. We were gifted a building, and so to maintain that, we've got people within the community to come in and sell their art, whatever that may be. We have herbs that are grown locally in Saranac for natural healing. We have crystals and stones from Rockford.
Big stones.
Big stone. That's actually from the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
It's called a Shivalingam for grounding.
All right.
Yeah, big stones, yes. Then we also have other artists who, you know, this lady sews and she brings her
Alright.
product in. We have a naturopath that comes in, massage therapists. We're intuitive readers. Locally, we have some wood chippers who come in and make some walking sticks or canes.
And today's your grand opening.
Today's our grand opening, and you just
Saturday, June
19th.
19th.
Yes.
Saturday, June 19th in Iona. And what's the name of the band?
The name of the band is Glam Hammer.
Lamb Hammers playing
Yeah.
outside.
They're an 80s theme band with the big hair and the spandex.
I noticed that.
Yes, yes. Friends of ours that came down to help us celebrate. We had great festival.
Thank God for
Vendors,
editing.
yes. We had clowns today, and Rich came up and sold some hot dogs for their local store. We also had Relay for Life here, selling water and ribbons. Hence the Friends part of Shelley.
All right, good.
Incorporates everyone who wants to be a part.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I'm so glad that you did roll in on your bike to be a part of that.
Yeah, well, the town is beautiful. The main street looks nice, so I hope it works.
Yes.
There's so many small towns now in the United States that are just dead.
Yes, and this is something that we're trying. We worked with the DDA and the Chamber, and there's actually, in this 3-block stretch, 40 businesses in the downtown area.
Okay.
And we're just trying to help promote that there still is life downtown. And so we're looking at doing this maybe once a month for the summer, and getting our art club involved. And yeah.
So anyhow, if you're going through small town America, you'll notice that it's dying out, and places like Shelley's and Friends are helping support the local community. They're bringing vitality back to the main street of Michigan and in all of the United States, and it's a good thing. So, so please support your local towns. Get out there and spend your money at Shelley's and Friends.
Thank you very much.
After we left Ionia, it was on to the country roads. It was quite hot and we did everything we could to cool off. We came across Rob and Mary Ellen. They graciously invited us in to cool down and gave us a pen that we used until it ran out in France. We made good progress across the state of Michigan, and we were headed for Canada. We were cruising along a nice trail, and we pulled in for a bagel and found this situation.
I don't know what village this is, but I'm going to call them.
Yeah, there's 5 of our ducks down there. I tried. It's
After all the little ducks were saved, we got back on the trail and we headed for the border crossing into Canada.
We're at the Marine City Ferry landing. We're about to take this little bitty ferry across the river, St. Clair River, into Canada on the other side.
Thank you for joining us on the first leg of our journey and episode 1. Be sure to tune in for more adventures on this epic bicycle trip.